Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Draw with Zaki. I'm Zaki, and today, I think I'm gonna have to pull that joke every time I do a Draw with Jazza contest video. Ooh, yeah, my gloriously horrible Aussie accent. I'm sorry. Hello, I'm Zaccura, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm showing the process for the entries I did for a contest, which is hosted both by FlareGames and Draw with Jazza. But basically, FlareGames is a mobile game company, and they have a game called SuperSpellHeroes, and they are holding a contest where they asked people to come up with some cool costume skins for 3 of their characters, and the winners will have their skins implemented into the game. And they also sort of teamed up with Jazza from Draw with Jazza, and he's holding basically the exact same contest with basically the same requirements, except his contest is judged separately from the game's contest, and it's held on Newgrounds instead of Twitter and Instagram, and his winners will not have their design implemented in the game. I mean, unless that person or persons win both the FlareGames contests and Jazza's, which, whoa. But yeah, I'll have the link to Jazza's video where he explained everything about it in the description box, even though the submission period is over now, so if this is the first you're hearing of this contest, then you can't enter anymore. But the link will still be there, you know, just in case you'll want to see what you missed out on. Anyway, for my entry, or rather entries, I decided not to only draw the characters in the proportions that they are in the game, but also in my own style as well, because I just like the idea of the contest a lot. The theme was, what would an ultimate wizard wear? So there was a lot of freedom for the design, and the only restriction really was that we had to try our best to stick to the overall proportions and aesthetic of the characters. But I also wanted to design these characters in my own style. So on the left of each image, I also drew the characters as how they would look in my style. It was of course extra work, but I like doing it because I love character design. So the 3 characters that we were supposed to create new outfits for are the first 3 characters you unlock in the game: Zenron, Jane, and Theobin. For Jazz's contest, we were only allowed to submit 1 drawing, meaning 1 character, 1 design, to his contest, but for the FlareGames contest on Twitter and Instagram, we were allowed to submit as many entries as we liked. So I originally planned on doing a design for each of the 3 characters, but I have been wicked busy recently, both with just life things as well as with art. So I ended up running out of time and only managed to do 2 of the characters, Zenron, which you see me drawing right now, and Jane. So for both of the designs, I actually started doing some thumbnails in my sketchbook, but Zenron's design went through a lot of changes. I think of the time I invested into this contest, I'd say 75% of it was spent on Zenron. The first initial design I did had his robe thing sort of crisscrossing in front of him, and I quite liked how it looked in my style with the more slightly realistic body proportions, but when I chibiified it into the style that would be in the game, I just didn't like it. There was too much cloth that when I made it so small, all the flowiness that was intended was pretty much lost. So I had to redraw the whole thing, but I did stick with this overall concept that I had from the beginning, and that was that his clothes would be sort of crumbling into the air, but I just changed the crisscrossed robe thing to this double-layered robe thing that I thought was better suited to the character's proportions, and I quite like it. The idea was that Zenron is so badass and powerful that even when he's not in battle, you know, even when he's just staying still, he cannot contain all of his power. So it's just emanating from him and his clothes, because when you become that high level, your clothes basically become a part of you. And also my idea was that his outfit and staff is basically like magical in itself. So even though it's crumbling, in my mind, it's also constantly replenishing. So it's not like his robe is just going to dissolve eventually. It's constantly evaporating and replenishing itself. That was also why I had the concept that his hood would be held down with these strands as well as his sleeves, because if those strands weren't there, his emanating power would just lift off his hood, which, you know, no one knows what Zenron looks like under there, so yeah, that would be bad. I actually have a theory that because we don't see any of Zenron's body, and I mean he's literally floating in one of the costumes in the game, that he actually doesn't have a body, like he's just a manifestation of magic with a consciousness. Game theory! When it came to his staff, I also wanted it to be basically magic. So I had the staff be in separate pieces, so it's held together with magic. In other words, no one would be able to wield this staff unless they have reached a certain power level, or else it would just fall apart. And I wish I had an explanation for the 3 orbs, but I don't. I just thought 3 looked better than 1. When it came to the colors, oh gosh, the colors. If you guys made it to my live stream, then you know the struggles I had with the colors. Serious case of indecisiveness. Things went from green to blue to traffic light. It was crazy. I spent like 3 hours just picking the flat colors, like not even rendering anything yet. But the reason that I struggled so much was that I felt that every color sort of has a theme. It has a magic, you know, but with this Zenron idea, I wanted him to be, you know, the ultimate wizard. I didn't want him to have any sort of elementalness to him, because I felt he was just so, like, he learned all that. He's above that already. He's got everything. So in the end, I swapped out most of the glowy light to just be pretty much white. It does have like a little bit of blue in it in some places just to keep it a little bit interesting and less artificial, but really it's white. Because as we all know, white is all the colors mixed together. Or was that black? No, black is a lack of color, and white is all the colors mixed together. Right. My kindergarten color theory has escaped me. Anyway, I just felt white suited what I was going for the most, so I went with that. Even though it does sort of now have an air of winter and snow. So, you know, it's still kind of themey, but I like the design and how it looks, and that's what matters. Now, unlike my severe indecisiveness I had with Zenron's design, I had a pretty clear idea of what I was going for with Jane from the very start. I did one thumbnail in my sketchbook and pretty much stuck with it the entire time, with only a few minor changes. With Jane's costume, I actually did go theme-based, and it was kind of inspired by the fact that her current Ultimate Class outfit that she has is nature-themed. Of course, the immediate thought I had was to make mine fire-themed, since fire and nature are the 2 main mana elements in the game. At least so far. I know things will probably change as the game progresses, but at the beginning of the game, nature and fire are the 2 mana sources. But I decided to tear away from that initial impulse to make it fire-themed and instead make it rain-themed. Why? Because I felt it was more unique. That's really it. So after I drew in her outfit, I added these droplet thingies hanging off of various parts of her outfit that I felt added more to the rain theme and also added some more interest overall. I did all the colors the night of the deadline date, so I was in super rush mode and thus didn't really have any time to tweak the colors. So there are parts that I do feel the colors aren't very pleasant and they're a bit muddy and too dark, but what can you do? I got it done before the deadline, and that's the most important thing, right? Also, when it came to that rune floating above her head, I made it a sort of raindrop pattern because I didn't know what else to put. I don't really know if the other rune design on Jane's outfits means something or not, so yeah. Overall, when it came to Jane's design, I'm happy with the actual design, just not so much with the execution of it, but it's okay. I actually quite like the game. I hardly have like any time to play video games recently. Sad face. So the fact that with this game I can just play a match anywhere and it only takes like 2 minutes is great. But even then, I still haven't played a lot. I haven't even gotten to Area 3 yet, so I don't even have Theobin yet unlocked. I only have Zenron and Jane. But my Zenron skill rank is level 5, boy. Or at least it was. It's rank 4 again. I haven't been able to keep my rank 5 for very long. I keeps going, like, I get it, and then I'll immediately lose, and I'll lose it again. And then I'll win, and then I'll get the rank 5 again, and then I'll lose it again. So, there you go. But still, not bad. So what do you guys think of my entries? Let me know in the comments. Between my design for Zenron and my design for Jane, which do you like better and why? Also, did you participate in this contest? If you did, let me know. Like, which character did you do? And yeah. And that'll about do it for this week's video. Sorry if my voiceover this time around sounded kind of droopy. I'm a little tired when I'm recording this, so bear with me. If you enjoyed this video in any way, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and hit the little bell to stay notified for when I upload. I make new videos every week, usually uploading on Sundays. If you want to follow me on social media, all the links to that are in the description box where you can follow me for daily updates. Best of luck to everyone else who participated in this contest. So far, I have seen so many amazing and creative entries. It's crazy to see how differently everyone interprets the same theme in their drawings. And I've kind of missed participating in these Jazza's contest of the months. They've always been really fun. So yeah, good luck everyone, and until next time, stay awesome, stay inspired, always. See ya!